Welcome to the Veterans Cycling Network podcast. This is the show where veterans, active duty service members, and first responders share how the bike helps us manage stress, PTSD, and the long days of everyday life. If you ride to keep your head on straight or want to start, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Andre, alongside with Melvin. In each episode, we'll talk rides, stories, and practical ways to use cycling as a tool for your mental and physical health. Let's roll.
That's so funny. That's too funny. Oh, that I can't change it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened.
So let me find something bougie to put behind me.
I'm gonna be right up front with you, Melvin. Reggie is a road rider, and we know how you feel about them roadies.
Oh man, I know he was letting it out, boy. I can't wait to hop on this because I was like, oh boy, he gets ready with the 6 shooters.
Hold on, dude. It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Hold on.
The bougie bike riders got to wear the white socks with the white shoes to match. Too can't wear nothing.
Hey, not to mention, don't forget your Aero socks.
I ain't gonna lie, I was in tears this morning. That was laughing so hard.
So there's a background story to that, right? So I used to be a roadie. Actually, I still have my road bike. It's in my garage. It's torn apart, right? The only thing I have is still the frame. In 2018, I was hit by a car.
Ooh,
and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm getting off the road, right? And so I hung it up after that. I'm like, this is enough. Amongst all the other things, right? The prima donnas, the matching tights with the shirts and the socks with the shoes to go with the tires on the bike.
It's all true, though. It ain't lies, though. It's a truth.
But yeah, I just didn't feel safe on the road right after that, and I was like, so I hung it up. So it gives me an opportunity to poke fun at somebody, right? Because you can't poke fun at mountain bike riders. I mean, because look, they're out there having a good time, right? They're drinking beer. They're not like prima donna bougie beer. They're drinking like PBR, right? They're having a good time. They're just out there just to do it, get dirty, right? You can't give them a hard time.
Oh man, I don't have to. I'll just roll up. I'll just open up the YouTube, watch them get chased by bears and flip over a cliff, bike broken in half. I was like, bro, what road bike you seen getting chased by a grizzly bear down the road? Had to climb up a tree, had to fake the bear, hide behind the tree, and hope to God that bear was dumb enough to think, oh, he disappeared. I'm gonna leave him alone. It almost ate him. You know which video I'm talking about? This was like way back, like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I seen it on YouTube.
I think I've seen
it. Yeah, he was high and then there was bad day for him. There had been a log that laid over the trail, so he had to stop his bike. So he hopped off the bike and hid behind a tree, and this bear was coming looking for him. This is before they had AI to make it up, so it had to been. It was no made up thing.
It's so funny.
Now you got to think about it. Like it might have been the AI, but back then that was no doggone AI. So that bear, and you saw him peeking around the window. That bear was looking for him hard too. Unfortunately, got bored. It's like, you know what? I'm out.
That's too funny. Man. That is too funny. Now I got to look this up.
Hey, with that said, everyone, welcome the fabulous, the one and only Reggie Smith to our show. Thank you for joining us. And what makes it really unique is we're doing 3 different time zones. So, Melvin's in Virginia, I'm in Germany, and Reggie's in South Korea. So that took some coordinating, but I'm glad we had it all figured out.
Yeah, I mean, you're a global network now.
Yeah, we're global.
You all
before we do start, I want to let everyone know that I finally got all the social medias fixed after a little snafu with Facebook and banning me. That was a whole nother story, and I lost all the accounts. But anywho, all the social media normal content website is now live as well, and I'll put all that in the show notes for everyone to follow and come join us anytime they want to. But with that being said, Reggie Smith, how the hell are you, man? It's been about a year since I've seen you.
It's been a while. It's be honest, it's been good. It's been a busy year, and I like what you were talking about when I listened to the first podcast 0, and I thought the hammer was on the nail, because what you were saying is like, as veterans, we face challenges as working adults, PCS moves, being a father, being a family man as well, and then balance that with your hobby of wanting to ride too, right? And find that time to carve it out. So this year's been a little bit tougher carving that time because obviously our daughter got to being a 2-year-old, and there's a little bit more involved in parenting at 2 years old than it is when you're at one, right? So that takes some and it's not a bad time. It takes some dedication, which I enjoy pouring into her and seeing how she develops and such. But yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit of power over that. Like you're gonna lose a little bit of the edge of your riding, but it's good edge to lose. I'm willing to lose it. So there's that. But that's how my year's been. It's really been that. And like you getting ready for retirement, I'm about 15 months out now. From yeah, man,
Melvin's like,
about that time. It's about that time.
Melvin's
That's
the
right.
one who's still holding on.
He
He's
said
still
we're
holding
not
on just
allowed
a
to
little
talk
bit.
about it. He said we're not allowed to talk about it. Okay, I ain't gonna talk about it, Melvin. I ain't gonna try and help you. We ain't gotta mention that. We gonna leave that in the box. We'll put it right back in the box, close it, lock it up.
Dude. Andre and I were just talking about that before you jumped on. I'm like, yeah.
It's a good place to be. It's scary, but at the same time, it's kind of like, nah, I know it's time to go. There's other things out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely time.
Well, that's what made cycling such a draw to me, because of that, because of that realization that when I step outside and I walk out those gates, that's 50 friends I just said goodbye to as well. I'll see them every now and then, but I'm literally saying bye to 50 of my co-mates right there, gone, right off the book, right? And
Right.
that, guess what? That's 95% of my friends, especially in Korea.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I can't let that be the case, right? I can't let my network just collapse like that on just 2 days of me walking out the gate, right? So I've gotten really into the cycle community here because I'm like, well, these are folks who are here. A lot of them are staying here. A lot of them are lifers. Some of them are U.S. people that are contractors, but they've been in Korea 10, 15 years. They're not going anywhere. Mike Bike Shop, who owns a shop down here, he just came up from Daegu, and he's pretty much running the local repair shop in Enjongri. He's from the U.S. too, and he's been in Korea almost 16 years now, and he's not leaving anytime soon.
Well,
right? So
yeah.
I was like, well, I need to start hanging out with this group.
Yeah.
So that way,
I remember seeing that on the social media. I still follow a lot of the Camp Humphrey stuff, and Mike Bike. I'm like, oh, now you show up, okay. After
right after you left, a shop popped up, right?
Yeah, it seems like things get better and better and better and better. But hey, it's all good, man, and I'm happy for it. Especially what you told me you might be trying to get into. Well, the sport
on the
coaching.
Business side of things, yeah. I'm really looking into that. My spin's going to be more of preparing riders for Grand Fundos, because that's the main thing in Korea. That's what you do out here. I mean, if you're going to ride a road bike, see, you got a good point though. When you go gravel for a purpose, right? You want to go out there, you're going to ride those trails, you're going out for the intent of having that camaraderie on the trail, right? That's it right there. And I'm sure there's some competition in that too, right?
Oh yeah, just as much. It's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it's worldwide. Matter of fact, I did a ride yesterday. We'll talk about it after you get done explaining you. But yeah, gravel's huge.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like you're fighting for flowers out there. Like you're not just doing it for it ain't just a casual thing. I mean, yes, you go out there for fun of it, but there's an objective. There's winning. There's losing. There's competition. There's drama. It's a whole life going on out there, right? Okay. And the same thing goes on here in Korea with the Grand Fundo scene. There's like 30 Grand Fundos that are done out here through the year that are broken up pretty much, fall season, and then I got it in reverse. It'll be spring season, kind of tapers off in the summer because it's just too hot, and then picks back up again in the fall. But you can't just pick up a bike and be like, oh, let me just grab me a road bike and I'm gonna go to one of these Grand Fundos. Not gonna happen. At least you're not. That may be your last ride, because it'll just deflate your ego, because you may think you can just run right into that, but you can't. You actually got to train for that. You got to train your body. You got to do some, and it could take a year. Now, in my case, it took me 2 years before I could go ride a Grand Fundo. And let me tell you, that first one, that was a humbling experience. What I learned from that one, I still wasn't ready to ride Grand Fundos.
Yeah.
And I had to go do some training.
Like I say, I see those elevation gains on these Grand Fondos in Korea, and they're nothing to balk at. There's some serious elevation gain. because Korea is very mountainous, and I will never do one. But hey, no time soon anyway. That's for sure.
Y'all gotta say you gotta do at least do the scenic ones. Like there's some scenic ones over here that's rolling terrain, ain't hills on those things. They just got bumps.
Yeah. In case like if people here have never been to South Korea, it's probably the best road cycling infrastructure probably in the world. I mean, their infrastructure is really well thought out and designed for mainly road biking. Mountain biking is a little bit harder. A little bit, you have to share the trails a lot with the hikers. That becomes problematic sometimes. There's some mountain bike parks in South Korea. I've been to a couple of them. Matter of fact, in South Korea this past year, in April, they held the UCI downhill competition.
That's right. I saw that. Yeah.
So
I did see
first
that.
first one there. So, but yeah.
So I just bring my mic over. How's my audio, by the way?
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So have you been getting out riding lately? I know your weather sucks in Korea right now, don't it?
I just came back from riding. I just got a new. I just went. Once I heard that podcast about being bougie, I said I got to be a little bougie more. I got to go get me another bougie bike. So I went.
There you go. So what's your quiver now?
Oh man, this is gonna be this is a great conversation. We got time for it. Okay,
I got to lean into this one. Hold on.
Okay, all right. No, I'm gonna lead leaders in this so you can ask the questions. Okay, so I got a Windspace M6. Okay, Windspace, and that should be like, well, who's Windspace?
I'm familiar.
I don't know.
Right? Look, from what I heard, you used to be able to buy Windspace bikes on coupon. You used to be able to buy them at the discount shop. Like they weren't getting no kind of respect, no accolades. But I just watched a documentary on them not too long ago. And what Windspace has been doing is they've been using the same manufacturing line. And I don't know all the intricacies of how things work in China, but their bike lines have been coming off the same as a lot of the major bikes. They didn't say who those majors are, but I'm pretty sure we can figure out who those major bike. There's only about a handful of major bike producers out there are coming off these factory lines. So Windspace is producing this beautiful product, several of them. The M6 is their race bike. I think they got a C5 coming out. That's going to be their endurance bike. It's absolutely gorgeous, wonderful, curated bikes, engineered well. After I just took one out, now I'm a believer. I was pretty impressed with its performance. It actually would have performed better than my Domani. That's a Trek. That's a race DNA in it. But the price point, at $2,500, I walked out with a full race bike minus pedals. Pedals aren't that much, or power meters, whatever you decide to put. In my case, I'm bougie. I put power meters on there. I couldn't just buy the cheap ones. I had to buy the most expensive ones I can get, not even guaranteed to give you better watts or make you faster, but they look good.
Yeah, there you go. They look good.
At least they look. I didn't know what I was doing when I was buying the stuff back then. This was back in 2022. So I thought that was the right thing to do. I could have gotten something at a better price point. But the point was the bike itself at roughly $2,500, I want to say, out the box, right? That came with the wheels, pretty deep wheels too. Came with the carbon wheels. Yeah, you got carbon wheels. You got a premium frame. Came with the seat as well. Very comfortable seat. Most of them do. And carbon and the handlebars are carbon too, with their own custom cockpit built into it. So it comes race ready. Like you get a whole race ready bike. All you gotta do is throw your pedals on and you're ready to go. And Di2, there's a Di2 105 on there, Shimano.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even buy Shimano for that price. Like the
You see what I'm saying?
The group set.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell you what, for the gravel riders out there, and Melvin, you should look at. I know neither one of us are in the market for a new bike, especially Melvin. Melvin got more bikes than the Trek Laboratory. But anyway,
You pointing them out?
Oh man, he talks about road bikers being bougie, but anywho, we ain't gonna ask
he
his
got
components.
the bougie lab. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
See you next time I come in Virginia.
Yeah. But they got X Labs is another Chinese bike company. They're going global. They're in the States. they're actually setting up stores inside the United States, but they're just like, you get a fully race ready gravel bike for like, 2,700 or something like that. And they have more premium brands, but best bang for your buck out there. Yeah, I'm telling you, these Chinese brands, they're coming on strong
with respectable bikes. I mean,
yeah.
I've been telling friends that want to get into, I'm like, you've never picked a better time. Like, if you want to get into riding, you could not have picked a better time to get into riding right now. There's so much competition for premium bikes out there now. And us, the consumers, we're the ones winning in this battle, right? I don't know what's going to happen as they fight this out as the manufacturers. But I can tell you right now, as the consumers, we're benefiting big time from this because we're getting access to some wonderful, great tech, real good speed, really good bikes, especially in the road scene that I've seen. And a lot of gravels. I did see a lot of gravels starting to pop up because I assume the gravel scene is starting to get hot too, because that's been a lot of talk lately.
Yeah.
As the gravel scene as well. And riders really, I mean, take your pick. You got so many great options out there of wonderful, gorgeous bikes, but I don't think that's going to stay that way for long. Like, someone's going to win this fight eventually, and they're going to start raising those prices up. So, I tell folks and those who are listening out there, and you're considering getting into riding, the best day to get into riding is today. Go ahead and buy that frame. Even if you're not ready to ride it now, take advantage of these low prices.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it was when was that, Andre? That was probably several months ago. We were talking about how expensive, bikes, getting into cycling in general, right? I mean, cycling was a recreational kind of activity, and now it's almost become sort of this elitist sport, right? Because things have gotten so expensive, you can't even get a regular bike anymore. So that's good to hear. I mean, I'm not, I'm not really shopping actively for bikes, but it's good to hear that you can get a really nice bike at a reasonable price and not spend $15,000, right? It's like a car note on some of these bikes, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're right about that, because as soon as for road scene, right? The minute you pick up your bike, right? Let's say when I got mine, and this was back in the 2022. This was COVID era, so I think COVID may have, I don't know if it drove the price of bikes up or drove them down, but it certainly seemed pretty expensive during that time.
Yeah.
So
you weren't getting any discounts, put it to you that way.
Nah, I didn't get no discount out the money, man. And in fact, I was disappointed to see you can get that same one now for like 2 million won cheaper. So I definitely know I got gouged on that one. So anyways, I bought that Domani. And of course, when you get into road biking, the next thing is you start looking at the YouTube videos and look at what everyone else is doing. And sometimes you look at the wrong YouTube videos and they convince you that you need stuff that you really don't need. And at that level I was at as an entry rider to roading, I didn't need to have power meters yet. But I went and got them, and I didn't just get any power meters. I went and got the Wahoo speed pedals because they're flat and aerodynamic, and they save you, I don't know, 6.3 watts per foot if you have them on and you're going 40 kilometers per hour, which I never do unless I'm going down a hill. So, and they were super expensive. And then of course you add in you got to put the sensors on there. You got to, you need your cadence sensor, heart rate monitor, and you start adding all the equipment, a head unit. So there's the bike, and then there's all the accessories. And then you said it right. Biking is also a fashion show. If you're a road bike.
Hey, I got no story for that, but keep going.
No. Go with that story, man, because otherwise yeah.
All right. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. So yesterday I signed up for my first gravel ride or group ride, right? It's sponsored by Continental Tires. Maybe about 55 riders or so. I chose to go the short course, which is 50K, because climbing here in the mountains, I'm not quite ready for that. But anywho, so I showed up, and my gear, my road kit, I think you actually seen it, Reggie. It's my litter hosen, right?
Oh yeah,
I got a full,
that thing is actually lit.
Yeah, I got a full kit of litter hosen that I have bought like 15 years ago. And I walk up and instantly everyone's like, dang, that's the coolest kit ever. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, man, it matches your skin, matches your bike. So I was flossing in my litter hosen. It was pretty cool, man. I mean,
you see what I'm saying? It's a fashion show.
It is a fashion show. I'm gonna say I look the best out there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like I need to get me some of this later. I mean, I've seen the pictures. I gotta find these. You gotta
You
send
gotta
it to
get you
me.
some
Oh,
fresh lycra.
oh man. Uh, Matter of fact, we were riding as a group, and then we passed another group of riders, young guys, and I just heard them like, "That's the coolest kit I've ever seen," and I'm just like, "Oh,
Tell,
thanks," you know.
look, the kit can make up
Right.
for a whole lot. You don't have to be fast on the ride, man. You just gotta look
But
good. You just gotta look
yeah,
Right.
fast. I've
That's
seen
it's
some
right.
jokers out here show up with these grand
yeah,
fundos. They be on a look. I've seen a Mondone SLR. That's probably about a $10,000 bike USD, right? By itself. And I mean, this person had spear. I mean, they had just top of the line stuff on. I mean, good Rafa gear. I know how much you love Rafa. He's wearing, I don't buy Rafa, by the way. But that gentleman had Rafa. I mean, he was just made out of money. And the thing is, he's making a statement, because you look at this guy and you're like, well, that suit right there is about $200. That bib's about $300. That bike's $10,000. Them shoes is $400.
yeah,
You start tabulating that up, and I'm like, okay, well, you just you easily parted with $20,000. You're doing all right. Not a very fast rider at all. He was not a very fast rider, actually, very slow rider. And when you based on his appearance and everything, it's not shocking that he'd be a slow rider. But that didn't matter, because he turned heads. Even when he was being licked and everyone was beating him, you still took a double take, and you'd pass by him, and then you had to be like, did I just see that?
yeah,
Did I just?
yeah. That,
And
that,
my
that,
heart
that's
was like, man, if that machine in the right hands would have just whooped me on this hill.
that that's really prevalent in Korea. Really prevalent in Korea.
You know this.
We just like in this group ride, right? So I'm sitting back. I don't know anybody, right? But you start to look at everyone, and you kind of peg who they are, right? So you got the old guy on a bike that looked like it's welded together, it's pieced together. It's a gravel bike, but it has a mountain bike derailleur on it. You know, has a cassette the size of a pizza. And this dude,
Man, right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And dude could ride like it's nobody's business, man. I don't think he got tired one time. He's laughing and giggling. And you look at his bike, and it's just a small little subtleties. You know, like, okay, that part's really expensive. It might not look like it, but it is. Because the bike frame, you ain't never heard of it. I don't know what the hell it was, but dude could ride. Just like there was about a 70-year-old woman. Same thing. I'm like, I'm not quite sure if she's riding a mountain bike with a straight bar, or is this a gravel bike? It had the funkiest, craziest dropouts, but had an XTR derailleur on it. Her too, man. She could ride like it's nobody's business. And then you had the complete opposite, right? There was one female there. She's on a Trek Project One gravel bike, or Rafa gear, top down, like you said, $400 shoes, and it's like, okay, yeah. Well, now she could, to her credit, she could actually ride, but I'm like, oh yeah, she's made of money. Like she got money, because she's full in. But it's just funny how you just see, right, the initial judgment of what people are wearing or what kind of bike they come out with, right? You're like, oh, you're quick to judge, but hey, man, old adage says, man, never judge a book by its cover.
Judging's part of the game. If that wasn't part of the game, then it wouldn't even be. Would it even be fun? That's part of the fun. Like
It is.
That's
Yeah,
part.
it
That's
is.
part of. That is part of the shenanigans with being a biker. That's the shenanigans what comes with. If you don't like that, don't join in, because that's part of the shenanigans. That's part of the joy right there. Like, we're gonna all get a cup of coffee afterwards, and we're gonna be talking about that same person, even though we never talked to each other. Be like, hey, did you go by that person back there that had the Trek SLR back there? You know, the one that was at the bottom of the hill that had to push it up the hill? That guy, you remember him? I was like, yeah, I saw him. You saw him too? Oh yeah, I saw him too. Did you see them shoes? How could you miss them? They were gorgeous, man.
I want to mount.
You better never take them shoes off and walk away, because they'll be gone.
Man, I want
You'll
to.
be walking like that barefoot.
It's so funny.
I went on a mountain bike ride, and this guy showed up in jeans, a hardtail, like a hardtail mountain bike that was literally welded, single speed.
And
And
he
I
was
looked at
whipping
him,
everybody.
and I was like, "Where you from?" He's like, "Colorado." I'm like, "He's about to ride us under the sun."
Just beat the dust out of you.
And he showed it. Like I said, single speed, man. Jeans, a flannel, and just gone.
Just made out of power. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, damn.
I made that mistake. Too, because it was at the previous this year, the Grand Fondo. I can't recall which one. It was the first one of the season I went to, and I saw this person roll up with not even a road bike. It was just a hybrid, man. It had the straight bars on it, fat tires on it. It was more appropriate, probably more of a gravel bike than it was a road bike. Because I mean, you don't really. I mean, you want big tires, but not as big as these suckers are. These look like you could ride through the sand and the beach with big tires.
Okay.
I'm like, this boy, he ain't gonna survive this Grand Fondo. Oh, he survived it all right. He was whooping people up, just left and right, just destroying them on the hills too, just kill them. And then that remember when we got into talking about the hills, because the hills, y'all been road bikes, man. So you know how it is, man. The hills are the grand decider. The flats are the flats. You can be a big boy and you can tear somebody up on the flats, man. Because as long as you got raw power, it's just a win. Headwind, tailwind, what kind of wind? We're all dealing with the same wind, but that's really all we're dealing with. But when it comes to the hills, that is when the cream rises to the crop. Yeah, you're a heavier guy, you're gonna really have a hard time on those hills. It's just gonna beat the dust out of you. And I didn't really have a good concept of that when I did my first Grand Fondo. I just figured I knew what my functional threshold power was. And I'm like, okay, and it wasn't very strong at the time. I was like 1.7 watts per kilogram, which is super low for a Grand Fondo, by the way. And
I'm like, well, that's nothing to me and Melvin.
Yeah.
1.7 means nothing. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that for mountain bike. Why would you need to know? Why would you need to know that? Like your point is to go up for a short duration of time and come back down the damn thing. You're not trying to beat somebody up the mountain, right? You need to get up there just to get some speed. Yeah. Okay, we need to know is because that doggone hill might be going for 5 kilometers, and if you don't pace yourself properly, you might detonate your legs at the bottom before you even get anywhere near the top. Then you got to push your bike up there. That's super embarrassing. You got to push your bike up the hill, and you might be done for the ride, by the way, because there's other hills. You might just be done. You might have to the dog catcher might get you, put you in the back of the bus, and take you back and be like, yeah, you didn't make your cutoff time, which happens too.
Do they have that in Grand Fondos there? Do they have like a bus where you could just like tap out and they come get you? Or
I call them the dog catcher. No one taps out, but I call them the dog catcher.
Okay.
Because that's pretty much what they're doing.
You do have an escape. Like you say, hey, it's too much for me. They have someone coming up the back. Or it's like,
I've never seen anybody you could tap out at the halfway mark and wait for the bus and they'll pick you up. You can do that. Yeah, you could tap out if you wanted to. But I haven't seen too many people tap out. But then it could be just that. There could be, and I just didn't see it on the route. It could be that. Yeah. But I've definitely seen the dog catcher just run up there because it's like, it's hella funny though. It's not funny that happens to you, but it's hella funny watching how the dog catcher system works. Because pretty much there's a break halfway along the race and there's a cutoff time. If you're not there by that cutoff time, then you can no longer continue to ride. So that cutoff time happens, they put the barricade up to block the route and they bring the bus and they bring a truck. And so they see you coming up the hill, and they're like, put your bike on the truck, get in the bus. That's the dog catcher. That's one barrier. The other one is, if you get past that, they'll come up behind you, and they'll get you while you're riding. They'll be like, pull over, get on the bus, because they cleared the route. So I call them the dog catcher. For this last round, the hills were so bad, I think about maybe like 30% of the people got caught. I mean, it was just buses of just... There's like 2 or 3 buses were at the finish line just dropping people off and dropping off bikes. I was like, bro, it was rough on me too. It was rough on me too.
That's like a walk of shame right there. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't let that happen to me. I refused. I was like, I will never let the dog catcher get me.
That's almost as bad. Almost as bad if you're doing a division run with the 82nd and you fall out. Trust me, you don't want to fall out of an 82nd division run. Trust me.
I'm sure that it ain't a dog catcher.
Those BCTs are ruthless. Anywho, yeah, it's bad. So I could just since I've been to Korea, I could just see the Koreans coming behind you and like get in the bus. You don't understand what they're saying, but you know exactly what they mean, and you just
they cut
your head down in shame.
Brother, the dog catcher, the bus driver right now is the most hated man in the Grand Fondo.
That's what I'm saying. Like no emotion, you know exactly what it means. You're like, I don't know what he's saying, but I ain't make it.
Look, they're ready though. Because they know what they're dealing with. So they just block the whole road so you can't go to
That's hilarious.
They make sure you got to come into that stop, and that's where they get you.
That's hilarious.
So
let's circle back. I heard what you. So have you only been riding since COVID, or have you been? What got you into cycling? Why'd you pick up cycling, Reggie?
Believe it or not, what got me into it was I was having a lot of issues with my knees, and I was a runner before I was a biker. Running was my thing. I ran track when I was in middle school. I ran track in high school, and I was an intermediate, runner on my own. And in the Army, I was pretty quick on my 2-miler. But once I started hitting into my 35s, I started having a lot of knee trouble. And then when I went and got them actually looked at and had an MRI and everything like that, I'd already had osteoarthritis and issues with the meniscus. I had complex tears. I had complex tears in both meniscus, which is pretty much the arthritis, right? When you start wearing down the cartilage in your knee, and then it starts tearing up your meniscus as well, and shredding them. And that's what was going on with my knee. So it's not to hasten the need to have to get them replaced. I said, I got to change sports. I can't keep running on these knees and tearing them up like that. I want to keep my knees as long as I possibly can. And that's when it was actually, I think it might have been John Ganello I met back then. I just happened to be wandering through Platoon's bike shop, kind of thinking about biking, when a person who was already a rider started talking to me about it. Said, hey, you should consider it. It's really good on your knees. Start off with a cheaper bike to see if you even like it. And then that's when I knew it was going to be expensive. Start off with a cheaper bike first and see if you like it. That's the hook right there. So I was like, okay, well, let me start off with the cheaper bike first, which wasn't very cheap. It was an FX3, it was about $700, hybrid bike. And let me start with that. Man, I fell in love with that FX3. I absolutely fell in love with it because I went out there riding, it was like running, but on 2 wheels. It's just you, your weather, and the air blowing past. The difference is you don't never feel the air blowing past you when you running. You ain't running that fast when you know what I'm saying? At least I'm not running that doggone fast before I hear the wind go. But when you get on a bike and you just hear that wind going past, or you take a turn, you got to lean into it, you just feel a certain way. It just feels a certain way. And I felt like I was just like, it was piecing my mind, like therapy is what it felt like. And then that was it. I was all in. And then, I went back to Platoon, emptied out my bank account, got a Trek Domani, I was that guy that had all the good stuff, man. I had the bike, I had the shoes, I had the clips. I couldn't ride for about 15 minutes.
So the question is, how much time elapsed from your FX3 to the Domani?
6 months.
That's what I'm talking about.
6 months.
The power of cycling, buddy. That's the power of cycling.
It took 6. And honestly, I would have gotten something at 3 months. I would have made my move at 3 months, to be honest with you, except that I had some I had to deal with, I had to go and have that surgery, I had to get the brain tumor. If not for that, I would have pulled that trigger sooner. But as soon as I got back from that, even though I couldn't ride, I still got that bike.
That's too funny. That's too funny.
When I got back, I'm hobbling in that place. I can't even stand up straight. I'm going to like, man, swipe my car, man, take my money, put that bike on. I'm going to be back to come pick this up when I can, all right?
That's what I'm talking about. Oh man!
And I had some adventures. Okay. We got to talk about your worst time on a bike at some point in time.
I don't have any bad times on a bike.
Bad time.
I got an embarrassing one. I
got some embarrassing rides, right? But no bad times.
You got it.
All right. So I guess Melvin's up first, huh?
Oh man, yeah. So this was I would say my first. It was my second road bike ride, right? So I had ridden, much like Andre. I one thing about living in Germany is lifestyle, especially when you live out in the sticks a little bit, right? Out in the villages a little bit, your life revolves around cycling, especially growing up as a kid, right? So I grew up cycling and everything else, but my first road bike actually clipping in, right? So I'm out there on a ride by myself trying to figure things out, and I get to a four-way intersection, big traffic light, 8 lanes of traffic each way, and I pull up to the side of the road, and the I had my pedals, the clips, I had it too tight, and I get to the intersection. I'm stopping. Man, yeah, I tell you, there's nothing worse than falling over, right? I mean, you're gonna fall over anyway, but there's nothing worse than falling over, and there's like 100 cars around you, right?
Yeah.
And because I had the tension so tight on the pedals, even when I fell, I couldn't get I couldn't get unclipped, so I couldn't get up.
So now you're living like a cockroach.
Someone had to pull over and help me get up.
Oh no! Someone had to pull over. Oh,
Because I was in the road.
oh. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I won't do that again.
Oh, that's it's one thing to fall over, but then to receive help from a passerby.
Melvin, my story is guess what? It's gonna be the same.
Y'all on y'all clips.
Dude, you only learned that lesson one time, right? You're like, all right, we're gonna fix this. It won't happen again. And it didn't happen again after that.
You're gonna do at least one time, and then you'll never do it again. And then that's what I got told too. I got told as soon as I bought my clips, I said, hey, you're gonna put it down one day. It's gonna happen. And I thought I was done with that because I did. I had like a little partial one, but nobody. What they don't tell you is it doesn't count until everybody sees you fall off the bike. That one counts.
Yeah.
And same situation, because you can relate to this because you were at that intersection. And I was at a big intersection too, but I was up in Seoul. And so not only was there the cars there, there's everybody at every street walk waiting for the light to turn green to go across. So I'm slowing down as I'm approaching the crosswalk. And I'm in this nice looking bike Trek. I mean, I'm just looking good. Now I'm not going very fast, but I look like I could go fast, but I can't. But I'm they don't know that, right? Because you gotta slow down for the intersection. So I know people. I'm like, I know you see me. I know you see me in my gear. I know y'all see me. I'm coming up. You see me slowing down, not thinking I need to unclip because I'm still new to the clipping, and I just let all the speed bleed off, and the bike just gracefully. And that's what made it so funny is that it just gracefully just did one of these numbers. Laid over. You could just see the faces of everyone's mouth because then creators like just appalled. Like the record just skipped. Just went back. Now I had one leg unclipped. One leg did unclip while I was falling. One stayed on. So it put me in a weird position in the bike.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
too
feel
funny.
you on that one. I feel you on that one. You know what? The fall didn't bother me.
Yeah.
My ego did.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I was hurt. My ego was hurt.
The only thing I remember hearing is fall left, right? You got to fall left. Just don't fall right. You got to fall left.
You see, my experience with clipping, I started this whole journey mountain biking, right? So I'm always in the woods. When I switched to clips, the one time I fell over, it was only like 4 people with me, and we in the woods. So
you give it.
Same story. Yeah. So I don't have a big opening, embarrassing, unclipping story because I'm in the woods, man. That was for, y'all fought for riding in the public.
Now,
That's too fair.
my second one was on my FX3. Actually, that was my first one because I had the FX3 before I had the Trek Domani. And it was raining like you couldn't, like right now, like how it's monsooning right now in Seoul. It was kind of doing that. It was raining pretty hard, but I'm like, man, I'm new to biking. Nothing's going to stop me, man. No rain, no hail, no sleet. I'm going hard, man. That's me. I'm doing this. And I'm on my FS3. It's a hybrid bike. It's meant for this kind of conditions, right? It should be able to take this on. It's got disc brakes. It's designed for this kind of weather. Yes and no. So, anyways, I'm coming down there and I see this little corner. It looks good, and there's some signs that say, "Hey, slow down." I was like, "I ain't slowing down. Why would you slow down? You got to pick up the speed here." Well, being amateur, the bridge is made out of wood. The asphalt's made out of asphalt, and
Say no more.
it's you already know, and it's not like you go into the turn and it turned into bridge. No. You're already turning when you hit the bridge. So I'm coming around that corner feeling good. I got it leaned over. As soon as that front wheel touched that first plank of wood, you already know it slid out right from underneath me. It was going to the left. I'm still, the back end still trying to go straight. And I'm just coming around that thing and just laid me on the side. And I slid across that bridge. Zzz. And you could hear the place slowing down. And then there's the old guy's like, "Hey, slow down, huh? Slow down." That's why he says slow down.
Talk about old Korean guy.
Yeah, he spoke English too.
Korean.
You know,
It's too funny.
Slow down.
It's
Okay,
too funny.
very dangerous, very dangerous. Slow down. And it's like, see, sign, slow down. And then it's like, yeah, if I had just listened to the sign. Now I tore my Lycra, so it's kind of tearing it now. You know, it's nothing worse, man. I got to go home, half of my black behind hanging out my pants, man.
That is too funny. That is too funny.
I learned a lot then. That when you're riding and the road turns to wood, slow down.
Yeah.
Man,
See, the nice thing about gravel and mountain biking, you know, if you fall, you get a little dirty, get scuffed up, all you gotta do is just ride through a couple water puddles and people just assume you're out there having a good time. No one will ever know that you fell.
Yeah, they know you got tore up. Yeah, you rode, but they didn't know you got tore up.
They're like, "Oh man," they were like, "You must have had a good ride." See, when you fall on a road bike, everybody knows because you got a cherry, right? You just like
you got to limp home.
you don't tore something up.
You at a red light and they see all the cut open.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Lycra's all tore up, man.
See, no, you got excuses in road and gravel and mountain biking, right? Yeah, there was a log in the path, right? You can say something, right? It's like,
yeah. Those crashes hurt your soul, man, because you already know, like, you know, it's like, damn it, man, I got to go get another bid, man. That was $300, man. Gotta go rip tore this one up, got to get another one.
Yeah.
That's the same time. That was the first time I put my scratch in my carbon fiber frame too. Is when I fell up in the clips. That's my
that
first
hurts your
scratch.
soul.
Oh man, I couldn't even finish. I was so hurt. Not only my pride was hurt, but it was a scratch on my new bike. I got up, my stomach hurt so bad, I couldn't ride no more. I just got in the train and took the train home.
See,
I hurt my soul so bad. I was done. I didn't have the courage to keep going.
I don't know if I'm fortunate enough. Like I said, all my stuff has happened in the dirt. I mean, my last one was in Korea, but again, I was at the bike park by myself, right, riding down, and I went down the trail a couple times, and it's a chairlift up, right? So chairlift up, go down. I'm on this downhill rig, and I see a Korean crash. I'm like, "Oh, you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm like, "All right." He's crashing on this berm. Come back around. I go. Another Korean's crashing on this berm. I'm like, "Damn, man! All these Koreans crashing on the same berm." Anywho, day goes on, man. I'm like, "Well, hey, it's getting late. I'm gonna do one more ride. I'm gonna go down." And now, you know, I've been there for a couple hours. I'm confident. I mean, I am hauling ass. And I got the full gear though, man. I got the full face helmet. I got body armor on.
So you're like, I ain't worried about it. I got this.
No, yeah. So I'm going hauling ass in that same berm. I found out where all the Koreans were crashing at that same berm. Because when you're really hauling ass and you come up too high on that berm, the berm wasn't packed tight on top, and so it gives out.
So you slide up out of it.
So you go tumbling down. First thing I did anyway, I jumped up and looked around, make sure no one else is coming down the hill. Like, all right,
someone didn't see you.
No one saw me, and then I'm like, okay, I'm touching myself, right? Like, okay, everything's good, and then I look, I'm like, well, I take my gloves off. I'm like, oh, my finger looked kind of funny, so as you can see, that's why it's like that right there. Yeah. So bent my finger.
You'll never forget that bird.
Yep. So bent my finger a little bit, but other than that, everything was okay. You know, the bike
Just
was
bent your
okay.
finger.
And to Melvin's point, yeah, I was dirty, but hey, man, it looked like I just had a good time on the mountain.
But ain't nobody know. I feel you.
Nobody know. Like I say,
But that's the thing. Yeah. But that's the thing about it, right? When you fall on a mountain bike, man, everybody's like, ooh, and then we laugh about it, and then you get back on and start riding, man. When you fall on a road bike, it's like, it's
dramatic.
It's dramatic.
It's dramatic.
It's dramatic,
like,
man.
Yeah. Oh, so your 2-year-old, a boy or a girl?
Oh, she's a girl.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm getting ready to say makes sense, right? When you fall on a mountain bike, it's like a boy, right? Oh, you just rub the dirt off, keep going. When you fall on a road bike, man, it's very very touchy, right? It's like
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. A good description of that is like a wine glass fell over. Like
that's right. Red wine on white carpet, man.
Across the pieces. It ain't just going. You're not just picking that back up again and drinking it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what falling on a road bike reminds me of. It literally is. It literally is that. And I know that as a road bike rider, man, it literally is the wine glass falling over and shattering. Because that bike's not going to be okay.
No.
Yeah,
it's gonna be something wrong. That reminds me, matter of fact, we were doing a group ride 2 weeks ago, and one of the riders had he had old school. I mean, it was a metal frame bike. It's like a fixie, and we were riding, and all of us have carbon fiber bikes, and they're pretty good. The carbon is pretty strong, and they flex well, so they can take hits. And we got carbon wheels, and I tend to ride my wheel a little bit lower PSI. To kind of get rid of some of the road vibration, and I found that to be pretty comfortable on the endurance bikes as far as like riding for longer distance. But the point of the conversation was this gentleman came out. He had metal rims, he had rim brakes. Like this is an older gen bike, but back in the day that probably would have been a good bike, like maybe like 10 years ago, but not now. Maybe even 15 years ago. So anyway, we hit a spot. It's Korea. Sometimes we run up on these little potholes, you don't see them. So we ran up on one. I hit one. Ka-chang, Bike takes it just fine. It's pretty hard. So I was a little, checking, looking at the back wheels, make sure it's good. And then I hear one behind me. It sounded like an explosion. It's like the front wheel was okay, bam, and then you heard boom. It's turned around, and there's our man with the fixie. His rim blew his wheel out. And so his wheel blew out. And not only that, the metal rim he had, just to show you how strong carbon is now. The metal rim he had a dent where it hit in that pothole. It dented his wheel, bent it, couldn't ride it no more. His ride was done. That wheel was finished. There was no fixing it. There was no beating it up or nothing. There was not gonna be no fix to that. Just toast. But the rest of us who had carbon, which I would have thought would have broke, took the hit.
Yeah, there were
interesting.
There were some times I have carbon rims on my gravel, and there were a couple times I hit hard. And I was really concerned, but nothing happened.
Yeah, I never thought they could take that.
Wheels, Melvin?
What's that?
Do you have carbon wheels?
Come on, you don't ask me that question because you're gonna make Reggie think I have both, right? So
no. Oh, Melvin. Oh man, it's not going well for you, brother. He was over here killing the roadies, but I see it's well deep in his DNA. He couldn't run metal on his road bike. He had to go get on his gravel. He had to go get carbon.
Hey, I always give Melvin a hard time. This coffee's going through me. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Anybody else?
No, we're still here. We'll keep the conversation going. Keep it hot. Melvin, what part of Virginia you up at, man?
I'm right outside of DC, so we're just south of DC, so Fairfax. I don't know if you've ever been to Fort Belvoir, but that's where I work. So
yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Lake Ridge, Virginia.
Okay,
which is right in Prince William County. So that's just right next to Fort Belvoir, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And my father still lives up there because my dad lives in Herndon, Virginia. So that's up in the
yeah.
Very familiar with the northern part of Virginia. Yeah, Manassas, all those places, Fort Belvoir. Dumfries, Fairfax. We used to live out in Fairfax for a little while before we moved to Prince William County.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll appreciate this, right? So that's where I do a lot of my riding is I go out to Loudoun County, right? So to get out there to the farm roads, right out there in between the all between all the cow and the horse pastures, and just that's where I
Yeah,
go out there, do all my riding out there, as so because it's nice and quiet, right? And you get a combination of both little road and gravel, but it's not a lot of traffic, so I tend to go out there. But yeah, so yeah, we've been here for a little while, so
that's good riding, man. I think that's a good place to go get it in at. I think I heard when y'all were talking in season zero, the first one, season one, we'll call it not season one, but the first episode. And something that caught my ear as I thought I heard y'all talking about like getting are there gravel or mountain bikes available in carbon?
My gravel
yeah,
bike's carbon,
yeah,
and my mountain bike's carbon.
No
yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
Wow.
you gotta get so you're stuck in one niche of the cycling industry. You all rode, homie. So I'm glad
Yeah,
we
I'm
have
all
you on
road, so I don't know anything what's going on in that side of the
a,
house, but it got
a
me. I
little
thought I heard y'all talking about that, and I thought it's
a little
like,
diversity.
I got carbon frames and mountain
Do you
bike.
remember the turquoise bike that I always rode in Korea, right?
Yeah,
That's tradition. That's a gravel bike, but I just put road tires on it and a road cassette because of Korea. But that's a carbon frame.
yeah,
Carbon
yeah. No,
frame.
I knew there were
And,
carbon gravel bikes, because I see those all
but
because the
yeah,
gravel's pretty close.
my mountain bike's full carbon.
Oh, that's wild, man, and as strong as all get out too, huh?
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
carbon
it's
mountain bike
crazy.
wheels too.
Suspension and
It's
everything on there too on the carbon. Oh, you don't
No,
need it.
fork
It's carbon.
suspension's not carbon,
well, it's just Fox suspension forks.
but yeah, but the frame itself, right? Frame,
Yeah,
handle, all the components, right? You're
yeah,
talking seat post, stem,
cranks,
handlebars, crank,
handlebars.
yeah,
You get
cranks. You can do carbon,
you get
right?
all
Yeah.
that
So
stuff
I mean, I
with
know the
carbon.
suspension's gonna be metal, but I mean, they
yeah,
still have
Yeah.
you have the carbon frame, but it still has the suspension components on the bike too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh
wild,
yeah.
man. That's still technology is something, huh?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
old, man. Matter of fact, man, my
Yeah.
bike is old.
You
My
know,
mountain bike's
you look
old.
back at the old metal bikes and you just realize it's like, man, carbon
My,
was a real game changer. You know, you could easily forget um how bikes used to look because they didn't look like how they look now. Like everything looks like a spaceship. You know, back then, and I mean, they had tough because it's metal and it was welded together and for
no,
pipes and
no.
there's
My
some ugly bikes, bro.
yeah. No, I ride metal. I still ride metal
oh
bikes
yeah.
today.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but I mean,
he has
the metal just looked like you took like a
wait, Reggie.
funky pipes
Wait.
and welded them
Reggie.
together.
Reggie, wait. Ask him what kind of metal.
What kind of metal? Titanium.
Titanium.
It
Yeah.
might as well be carbon, boy. They got
So
died.
so
God.
so, so I still have a Steely. I still have a steel bike.
Okay, I can see a steel bike. Yeah, I can see that.
I have a steel bike and a titanium bike. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm like that titanium ain't like it's not like it was a cheap bike, man. That was some money.
yeah. It was probably costs it costs just as much as a carpet bike.
Yeah,
So
but I remember when I was a kid, like we didn't have money for that. I used to ride when I was a kid too, but I rode like the mountain bikes. It wasn't a real mountain bike though. I had a was it a Murray? Was the big band? I don't know. Whoever the
yeah,
Walmart carrier, I
yeah.
think it was
Murray's have
Murray.
been around for years. Yep.
It was for years, right? I don't even think they're around anymore, right?
No, they're still around.
Oh, they still around? And they selling Walmart
Hmm.
bikes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had a Walmart bike and it was a Murray and it was a like a 15 speed. It was pretty cool. Because I think it had like 3 gears. You can 5 gears in the back and three you can choose in the front. It was super weird configuration, but it was a fun bike. It was heavy, but it was metal and it had like an oversized tube and it was pretty cool bike. It got stolen, of course, like 2 years ago. Like I had it for 2 years before it got stolen. And I love that bike, and I got another one. But yeah, they're all like metal, and they were heavy, but I didn't know a lot about bikes then. I think if I'd known what I know now, um, I think I'd have got more into it. But also, there's an accessibility problem too, because when I think about it, like for young riders who really want to get after this and get interested into whether it's road biking, gravel, or mountain biking, um, it gets expensive.
It does.
And there could be really good competitive kids out there that could be really good at the sport, but they're locked out because of the cost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's certainly. I mean, there's brute force, right? Will take you a good ways, right? I mean, if you can just ride, if you can just muscle through it, but there's just something to
Yeah.
be said about just how the bike, that's the machine, right? That the
Huge,
rider rides on,
huge.
having those, if you're going on a long ride, I mean, those 3 or 4 or 5 pounds, right? It plays a huge difference
On
over time.
endurance. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, and
Yeah.
comfort, right? I mean, it just takes a lot more muscle to muscle that heavier bike, especially when you're talking about mountain biking. I mean, that's 5 pounds on a mountain bike is a lot, man. When you
See
have
what
to
I'm
lug
saying?
that thing up and down, right?
Yeah.
It just takes
Yeah.
more to push that thing around.
So that
So
that kind of played a little bit in my thought about that as a head because I was thinking about it for myself. It's like, man, I would have loved to have gotten to that more as a kid, but I know that money was a factor, and that's why I went to sports that didn't cost money, like running track and field. All you had to do was you just needed some, even if you didn't have good shoes, and most kids didn't, where I grew up at. So, um, and this was Lake Ridge. It's not like Lake Ridge like it is now. Now you look at Lake Ridge as a bougie town, but it was not bougie when we were growing up in that sucker.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I was running track, man, and that's pretty much that's all you. That is you and legs. That is 100% a leg sport. There's really not a whole lot you can do to make you any faster or slower. Well, I was talking about track and field. Like when you run in track and field, you don't really need a lot of equipment to be fast. Either you're fast or you're not. It's that simple. But when you get into mountain biking, you get into gravel, and you get into road biking, that those bikes and what you buy does make a difference in how you're going to perform and what you can do. And so what I was talking about is like there's probably a lot of youth or young riders out there who are interested and they may not go into the sport because of the cost factor associated with it. Because it's not something it's not like you're going to join the middle school mountain bike team
yeah,
or the middle school road bike
yeah,
team. Maybe a few have them, but most don't.
yeah. We
Yeah, it
don't have
depends
them.
on what
Yeah,
it depends on what part of the United States. Um,
Yeah.
there's a I don't want to say a nonprofit, but it's a club in Richmond, Virginia that basically they do underprivileged or underserviced kids to
Mm.
get them into mountain biking, and they have some pretty huge sponsors, man. I'm like talking about their inner city kids, and they're riding pivots.
Oh, see, now that's
So,
cool.
yeah, and that's right there in Richmond. So they're doing some things out there. It's hard to find, right? Just like all these
Yeah.
other all these other veteran cycling organizations. Hence, kind of why I created the podcast. And we'll highlight one at the end of the show when we're wrapping up. But so there are organizations out there that help, but to your point, maybe not enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like
I
you
was just
said,
throwing it out there.
it's still a money thing.
It
You're
is.
yeah,
And it
you're
depends. And not
you're
just
100%
right.
and it's access, right? Not only is it money thing, so road
Yeah.
bike's a lot easier because road bike you got your front door
Everywhere.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can just go
yeah.
ride, right? Mountain bike, okay, you're gonna need some trail access somewhere, right? So you're in the inner city of New York City, get into mountain
That's
biking,
tough. Kinda tough to do some mountain biking in there, yeah.
right?
yeah.
You're gonna have to go a good ways. I mean, I'm not saying if you're from New York, I don't know. There might be trails in Central Park. I don't know, but to really get into the real mountain biking, now you live in Utah or Colorado, sure, they have high school teams, they have middle school teams because they have access to the mountains right there.
Yeah. So
But
nah,
yeah,
I
it's
mean
definitely
I was throwing that one out in the ether, like just to
yeah.
plug it in people's ears. Not
Me,
that I have a solution to that, no one, but I was just throwing it out there and I was just thinking like, cause I'm gonna upgrade my Domani frame, and I'm like, well, yeah, I could donate that frame because it's still a good bike. And I'd rather than selling it, I'd rather give that away to somebody who wants to get into biking, a youth or kid that wants to get into biking. And yeah, okay, it's a 5-year-old frame, but it's still a Domani SL6, right? It's still going to be a good endurance frame with ISO speed. Um, and I'd love to
nah,
see that go to use. Yeah,
here's an idea. For your business proposition you're going to do in Korea, have it as a loaner bike. I mean,
that's
simple as
not a
that,
bad
right?
idea. That's true too. Like, you're right. Then they can just ride it, man. Just take it and go
Yeah,
and bring it
or you
back. Yeah,
you train them on that.
Yeah.
that's not a
Uh,
bad idea. You know what?
yeah,
That's what's good. See what's good to have
that's
friends,
why.
man. Bounce ideas off each other like that. It's like that right there. You're right. Rather than give it away, I should hold on to it and I can teach somebody,
Yeah.
and show them
Yes,
like, hey,
So,
I don't have a bike. Don't worry about it. I got a bike.
yeah,
You'll learn on this
yeah.
thing.
exactly,
But here
exactly.
they're going to be a little disappointed. They're going to get on that machine. They're going to be like, man, this thing rides so smooth. And then they're going to go down to the bike shop thinking they're going to go buy themselves the same bike. And they're like,
Uh,
"Ooh,
but what? What is that?
Well, that's why I gotta have some wealthy people in the group so I can go and tap them like, hey, hey, let's donate to this kid and let's get him on a bike. You know, I mean, there's ways, right? You get sponsors. I like what Andre. I just have to think differently about it. Like, could I form that up? Will I have sponsors? Can I set aside profit for that too? Sure. Could I also, talk to members of the, because obviously anything you set up, you usually got a riding team as well. Can we all not contribute? Maybe we all have parts and pieces we can build a bike that's good for that person. Like, I think there's a way in which to get riders access to, especially since new generation of bikes come all the time. And what happens to those old bikes, right? They go somewhere, not in the trash. They're not going in the trash. You usually sell those frames off to somebody. So there's a user like, but if I can intercept some of those bikes and repurpose them and give those to those young riders and introduce them to riding. I mean, look at the Tour de France. How many riders you see in there look like us?
One.
Yeah, not very many.
Other than Rene Gourmet, it was one. And I didn't even think. I was starting to think. Here's what happens though. Here I am looking at. There's a 44 years old looking at him like maybe it's just because we're not biologically. It's not our thing. Maybe it's a biological case.
Nah,
it's access. It occurred to me a little bit. I said, I wonder if that because we tend to be more stocky, bulkier, tall, and those things tend to slow you down. And then came Binion. Then came Binion, who staged at the Tour de France, and it was like, well, that's not true at all. That has nothing to do with it.
How big is he? How big is he?
He looks just like Pogacar. Very skinny.
Tall.
Very skinny. But he's tall, but he's skinny.
No.
He looked like a typical road bike rider, like a matchstick. And I began to occur to me. It's like, but then when we have really fast marathon runners that are of African American descent of any sort, or even from the Middle East and whatnot, they look like a matchstick too. The fastest marathon runs, right, look like a matchstick. So that occurred to me. It's like, well, maybe we can compete in this. It's just what you just said. It's access. It's knowing that if you never see nobody that look like you there, then maybe you get that ideal that that's not really a thing that we can do. But I think Binion being there may shake that up a little bit, because now you're looking over and be like, well, yeah, anybody can do this. And if you're willing to put your mind, you're willing to put the work in, and you really get dedicated, you too can go. And if you have a passion, because I guarantee there's some kids out there that want to be road bike racers, or they want to be gravel racers, or they want to be mountain bike racers. Well, it turns out you could be.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just access.
It's just access.
The barrier to entry, right? And thankfully, going back, there are organizations that are trying to expand that access. There's a professional riding group in Rwanda. I think they're Rwanda. I don't know how you say someone from Rwanda. Rwandese. Anyway, I think Rwanda has a professional cycling team that is providing that access to that area. Same thing with a lot of African nations. Cycling's starting to get really huge there.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to just to say it. I don't want to make it I know I just kind of picked like a race that I'm near and close to, obviously, but I think that affects all races too, because it can be an economical thing too as well, where you can economically be locked out of racing. You could be economically right of being a road bike rider.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt. Definitely that's a huge thing, but that applies to every sport. Period. It's I don't care if it's basketball, like for my son, or if it's Formula One racing, right?
You're right.
Unfortunately, it is an economical thing.
It is.
It just is, unfortunately.
But it makes you wonder, though. It makes you wonder a little bit, like maybe that next rider that would have been that next, high speed, fast rider, that person that was going to be the next gen. Maybe that person never even got an opportunity to even try it out, because they were locked out
sure.
because of the economics. So we don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like they're out there somewhere. That next rider,
sure.
and they say it, like when you hear the top contenders in the Tour de France, they're like, somewhere out there right now, the next best rider was just born. And he's right. That next best rider, that's true. We just don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah,
man, that's
yeah.
that's every case everywhere.
Yeah.
For any sport, I'm a big advocate. Like I said, if you don't have the access, if you don't have the support from your family or whoever, I mean, like I said, I can relate it to basketball, right? A lot of these German kids, their parents don't support them. I mean, they support like, yeah, okay, you go play, right? But you rarely ever see the parents there at the practices or at the games, right? And so the kids have to find their ways to the games, right? But oh man, this kid's really good, but his parents, either one, they don't have the time or they don't have the means or whatever the case is to bring the child to the next tryout because they just can't. And so,
damn, that's a shame. Yeah,
we like I said, we gotta apply that to
so many
anything.
things, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that comes right back to how we just opened the conversation we were talking about earlier about, and that just kind of makes the use case where these newer brands that are coming out and bringing those really good quality race ready bikes at price points that are more affordable. Like I just told you that Windspace that I got right there, M6. I mean, that thing is fast. It is a wickedly fast bike. I just took it outside and ran, and I was impressed. And I can't believe it. $2,500 compared to if you want to go get an SLR. So comparative, that's $10,000 just for the bike alone. That's not even talking gear. So yeah. I think with these companies coming out now and like Windspace, Quick Pro, X Lab, these different companies, I think they're helping to level the playing field and bringing it down to a point where more riders it can be more. I know inclusive sounds like a dirty word, but I'm using it in the right terms. And it's inclusive to everybody. I mean, everybody, if you feel you can ride, there's a bike for you that you can afford. You can get out there and you can try it and get in and try the sport.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't want to see
like I said,
grow. Yeah.
So, and we'll circle back to the veteran side of house, right? To people, there are organizations who are, they are getting bikes to get veterans out on 2 bicycles. Right. And so in order to do that, a lot of times is like you said, right? The bikes have to be affordable, man. It's like,
yeah,
not everyone retires from the Army. All right. Some people do their 4 years admirably. They get out and, they need something or they want something. Yeah. Having affordable bikes, right? Good, affordable bikes, although Walmart's coming up. I don't know if you probably never pay attention to any of the Walmart bikes. What they're starting to release is, well, yeah, you're in South Korea. That's true. Ain't no Walmarts. Ain't no Walmarts in Germany either. Ain't no Walmarts in Germany either. But
yeah, I mean they got some good bikes at Daiso, but they're like a one-time use bike.
Yeah, you ain't got no bike on Daiso, man.
Yeah, you can use it one time. Melvin, you take it out there.
Daiso's like it's like a dollar store.
I was like, you guys are talking a 4 language. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Melvin, these bikes you can buy from Delson, from Daiso. If it's raining outside and you ride it out there, you can use it for about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, Daiso's it's a dollar store. I think they have one in They have one in LA now.
They have one in LA. They don't sell no bicycles.
That's so funny. That's too funny.
It's real low cost stuff over there. Some of it's just junk. Some of it's all right. It's stuff to get you by. When you got a couple nickels to rub together, it'll get you by. Okay, now I thought it was a good segue. Now, but veterans. This is something that I want to see this really grow. I'm really glad you're doing this, Andre. That you're doing the Veteran Cycling Network to get the word out there. Because as we all know, mental health is a crisis point for veterans. I mean, it's been at a crisis point for a long time. This is medicine, therapy, without having to have to put something in your body that may work for some veterans to be able to get out there and still be able to compete. Even if your knees are bad, guess what? My knees are bad, but you know what? It won't hurt you if you're fit properly on your bike. Your knees will be perfectly fine. You'll be able to you'll be able to ride hard. There are people out there who have had knee replacements They're on bikes still going. They're out there being endurance riders, still going riding. There has never been a better sport, I think, for veterans, given the lifestyle that we have, given the challenges that we face, the stressors that we face. Cycling lets you be able to still be, especially what you guys are doing, mountain biking and graveling, because then you get that thrill that go with it too. You get that extra thrill. My thrill comes from, you know what I'm saying? My adrenaline rush comes from not getting hit by a car.
That's a good one to have.
When it almost gets you, you always an adrenaline rush. You're like, dodge that one.
It's too funny. It's too funny.
So my adrenaline's not planned. At least like when you go do mountain biking, like it's built into the trip. You go. Mine's is unplanned adrenaline rushes that occur when you almost lose your life. That I'm being a little dramatic about it, but you get my point. Like when someone does something that kind of threatens your space of riding, which is not very common here in Korea, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think like this is a really good sport for veterans to get into. I really do. And at least try it. At least go out there, try mountain biking, try gravel, try road bike. I guarantee you. Go ahead. Use it. You got
a lot of it's selfish for me and Melvin too, man. That's all we do. We talk about bike. We don't talk about work too deeply. And so we're like, man, let's start recording this. Let's start recording just to talk bikes, man. Talk something else. Besides,
man, you gotta be out of work. You know, get off of work, leave work at work, man. You get off. Nobody's paying you. You're not being paid to talk about work outside of work. If you pay me outside of work, I'll talk about work. If I ain't getting paid, I'm not talking about work.
I hear you.
I'm talking about everything else but work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys bring up
go ahead.
Yeah. No, you guys bring up a good point, right? It's like so you talk about the therapy piece, right? Just by writing about the mental, physical health, but I think a large part of it, right? And I think this goes back to being in the army, right? It's just the camaraderie, right? You're going out there, even you like to talk, we judge each other, but you're not being judged, right? You're just going out there, just have a good time, right? And the best part about any road trip for me or any bike trip for me is, right, it's the post-ride social. Right. And it's like you get a chance to kind of, hang the bike up. We laugh about what just happened. Right. Talk about the people that are out there on the ride, but you just out there just shooting the breeze. Right. And it really is very therapeutic.
And it goes all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, which you said, Reggie. You said, when you retire and you walk out that gate, you leaving 50 friends behind. That's the point of the Veteran Cycling Network, is not to leave those people behind. Right. So we can always connect somehow, some form. I mean, look, we're in 3 different time zones. I mean,
that's saying something.
And so we're just creating a hub. That's all it is. It's a hub for people to go to and then, be a part of a community that's spread around the world.
That's really cool.
It's an idea I had for years, and so we'll see it. We'll continue to develop it. Reggie, you could be our road spokesperson, because me and Melvin don't really talk about road.
No, I'll hold that down in spades.
Yeah, we don't. We don't do road. Roadie. We love y'all to death, but and at some point, watch, I'm gonna be a road biker. Me and Melvin are gonna be on a road bike some point in like a couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try a mountain bike too. In a gravel, because I'm getting curious, because I have some friends that are doing gravel biking, and I was like, oh man, I want to get a gravel bike and see what it's like. And then that same friend fell off and he broke his arm, and I was like, see, that's why.
It's hard to find gravel in Korea. You have to go down the Busan area. That's where all the gravel routes are. That's the problem. That's why I switched my gravel tires to road tires, because it's too mostly hard to find. Yeah. But you come back on this side of the pond, we got gravel for days, either in Germany or in the States. I mean, like, Germany's phenomenal.
I want to do. That's the other thing about cycling. You can travel and cycle. There are destinations you go and travel to. Like, I want to take my road bike and I want to go to Vietnam. I want to go try it out in Japan. I want to go to ride in Taiwan. Like, there's Australia. There's routes everywhere. There's someone's got a road. There's somebody's like, there's a trail over here, brother. There's everywhere. So you can even go on holiday and go ride.
Yeah. Hey, if we grow this community big enough, we'll put on a trip to like Tuscany gravel.
Oh my gosh,
something
come
like that.
on, come on. Now you're talking.
But it's
Wouldn't that
coming
be
out there
something?
quite some time.
Yeah. You
But
never
yeah,
know.
what I do like to do is like before we close, we always mention at least one veteran organization that does something with bikes. And so the one for this week is Rally for Vets Cycling. They're a veterans biking community where what to say, community where PTSD symptoms succumb to cycling endorphins. They connect veterans, families, and supporters through group rides and a Strava community. We'll put their link in the show notes. So if anybody who wants to check them out, name is Rally for Vets Cycling. So we'll put them in the show notes down below. If anybody wants to reach out to them and see what they have to offer. I believe they're a road based cycling organization, but
So I'm trying to
it's
tell you
all
something.
good, man. Right? Hey,
It's all good. It's all good.
You know what? The fundamental things you're gonna learn on the road. If you think about it, you're probably gonna start on the road first, and then you're gonna venture off into other categories. Yeah,
yeah.
because not everyone stays road. Not everyone stays road. Yeah, it's a pretty penny. If you decide to venture and stay in road, yeah, you're gonna spend some money.
Hey, mountain biking is expensive too. It's all expensive.
They're all expensive.
It's all expensive.
And I was gonna say, I said your stuff gets kind of up there too. I mean, you're talking carbon frames, suspension systems.
Yeah, they could probably.
Y'all got you got electric shifting systems too. Yeah, it's up there.
They're on par. But nah, hey Reg, thank you for coming on the show. That was awesome.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having
15 minutes. I know I want to respect your time because I know it's late there, and I know Melvin has to start his busy day because he's a busy man and he has work tomorrow.
Yeah, I do have work tomorrow.
Yeah, I am not a busy man, which is okay with me. But
I'll be joining you about 15 months. I'm looking forward to not being busy.
I am going to ride my bike this afternoon, maybe this evening, and get me a mountain bike ride in.
Have a happy ride out there. Watch out for grizzly bears.
Yeah. Again, thanks for being part of the show. For everyone else out there, we'll put everything in the show notes. Like, subscribe, preview, or not preview, was it? Post a review, any of that stuff, and let's spread the word out. With that being said, we got to do our jam. All right. All right, guys. Hey, man. Appreciate it. To the next time, hopefully we'll get one out in the next couple, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, somewhere around there. We'll hit you back up. And
all right, anytime, let me know.
All right, man.
All right, y'all be easy.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you
later.
Have a good one. See you.